afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the APAT show. It might become known as the APAT Ryder Cup show by the end of the evening, I have to say. Leigh, how are you doing, my friend? Are you good?
I am very well indeed. Is that golf I hear in the background?
Oh, it
Des?
might be. I'm actually there, Leigh. I'm on the edge of the 17th green as we speak. Well, it feels like I am. I think maybe a few of us might be.
Yeah, very much that is the case. Yeah, we are live, guys, but we are very, very aware tonight that eyes may well be and even ears on other things going on elsewhere this evening. We've got some poker going on. You got 12 minutes if you want to get back. If you want to get into tonight's satellite, we've smashed the guarantee tonight. There's 9 runners still playing. You can jump into that if you want to. We're going to follow the action in that. Obviously we've got eyes on what's going on over in New York with the Ryder Cup as well, so you might see a few heads in hands because this is not going the way they thought the final day was going to play out. I'm also playing a couple of other poker tournaments tonight as well.
I don't know how you're going to do that, Leigh. I really don't know.
So yeah, if you could all just keep the flow of the show going, this would be great, and we'll
cover for us.
Yeah, and we'll be fine, and we'll get through this. Because we're all looking at things. I think Des and I we think we're a little bit out of sync on the stream.
I'll say nothing.
Ryder Cup. So we're not going to throw any spoilers out there. So if you are watching the golf as well as listening to us, then great. We will make sure we don't spoil anything for you until you get it. But we have got 11 in the satellite, and
that is awesome.
I saw Damien in the chat.
Yeah,
he is one of those 11. So good luck to you, Damien. Currently 5th of the 9 that are remaining. Actually, I said 11. There's 9 remaining. Yeah, but you've got 11 minutes left. That's what I meant. If you want to get involved, Carl Jones is there. Mohican in the house. Currently 3rd in chips at the moment in the satellite.
Oh, nice.
So good luck to you. Hi to Lewis Young there as well. Let us know if you're playing, Lewis, tonight. Do let us know, or whether everyone. I mean, I'm guessing everybody is transfixed by what's playing out in the Ryder Cup here. There's far too much red on the scoreboard for most people's liking, I'm going to guess.
I'll tell you what, Leigh, there wasn't enough red on the scoreboard for me yesterday. I have to say, let's just get that one out of the way straight away.
Yeah, no, definitely.
For either of us, I suspect.
There wasn't football happening this weekend. That didn't happen.
Postponed this weekend.
I think I've even managed to lose my fantasy football head-to-head this week as well. Goodness.
Brilliant.
Unreal. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it goes. You can't win them all. I was top of the table, unbeaten after 5, but I think pretty sure I'm going to lose this week unless and DA does an absolute beauty for me for Everton.
As one of the commentators said late on in the Newcastle-Arsenal game, he said, "Oh, it feels like it could be a pivotal week in the Premier League." We're still in September, right? There isn't anything pivotal about it.
Absolutely ridiculous. Great result for Arsenal today, though.
Oh, what a comeback. What a comeback. Didn't see it. Tune in for the last 10 minutes. Just kicked myself for doing so. But what a comeback, yeah.
Oh, I'm all in with kings and have run up against aces. Would you believe it?
Well,
would you believe it?
Any joy? No. Flop? No.
Bust in 18th for what would have been a chip lead stack. Kings into aces.
Ouch.
That's a sucker punch.
Ouch.
That is a sucker punch. But
I'm
hey,
not,
that's on the.
I'm not even going to ask you for 50p there. That is a genuine sucker punch.
Yeah, that's a gutting one. Right, let's get the table back up because it's just they've just got back down to 2. So bear with me a second whilst I bring up. We were on 2, but we're back down to 1 table. So bear with me a second whilst I bring that back on the screen. And there it is now. There we go. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's one of my 2 done. Super close to a Birmingham package. There, but nothing you can do about that. Kings into aces. 10 packages up for grabs there tonight, and so finished 17th. So miss out.
Tell you what you'll have to do, Leigh. You'll have to take a spin on poker raffles.
If only I could, Des. If only I could. You got 7 minutes left if you want to get into the satellite. You're still going to get in with is it 2,000 stacks? So you're going to get in with a few chips. See what we're up to now. It's just all I'm hearing is lots of ooh.
Yeah, that's just for me.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to be sitting down with about 10, maybe not quite 10 bigs actually now. If you do want to jump into it, so up to you whether you want to give it a go. But we'll say late reg is going to shut in 7 minutes. Then we'll do the add-ons as well for anybody that wants to buy an add-on who's still sat left, and then we'll see what we're left with. But there's going to be a little bit of money for looks like second, third, and fourth. They're going to pick up a little bit of cash plus the 140 seat for the winner tonight with 7 remaining. True Real Deal is our chip leader. Not too far behind though is Douglas Do, which is Brian Frew, and then we mentioned Carl Mohican in third at the moment. So Real Coily is there as well. Mentioned Damien as well. Card Shark, Stevo, and Vava Boom are the very short stacks here on this one. So points on the board for Europe after the first 2 days of the Ryder Cup. They don't need many, but it's starting to look a little bit worrying how they're going to get those not many.
I don't know, Lee. Beginning to settle down now a bit.
Yeah, we will see how it plays out. So it's. I can't talk about the goal because I don't know where I'm watching it.
Don't know where anybody is.
So it's not fair to say anything. So yeah, we'll leave it at that for the time being, and not say much more than that. But we have to say we've got plenty to have a catch up on about. Any questions or anything in the chat? Let us know. Loads. Yeah, you mentioned poker raffles. Loads on the poker raffle site. We've just launched a new APAT draw. We'll show you the details of that in a little bit later as Damien wins with the nut flush draw there. Yeah, we've got a new, you can win an APAT package, a £700 package to use for pretty much any event. So we put some examples on there. So you've got Malta you could use it for, and you could use it for the UK COAP in London, or you could use it for poker squads, or you could use it for the Irish Open next year. And basically it's, the only condition is whichever event you want to play, we'll buy you into that target event. So whichever APAT event it is at that event, and then we'll bespoke the rest of it for you. So if we can sort you a hotel, we'll do that for you. We'll then give you the balance in cash, so you've got some spending money. If you want to use it for some additional seat credit, we can sort that for you. So pretty much that's the idea with it. Is it's a £700 package. That you can use for anything. But so we put some good examples of the sort of things you could do. We've said you can use it to buy your entire team into poker squads. Yeah. £560 buy-in, and then we'll give you the 140 in cash, so you can buy each of them. Well, you can get two Five Guys burgers that you can share between the 4 of you. Yeah, so that'll cover the other 140. So pretty much it's super flexible. So we know how popular the Players' Choice £140 seats are, and so many of you have bought tickets for those and won seats for those. That we've now got effectively Players' Choice packages up for grabs to use for anything. And you can hang it on till next year, so there's going to be a Worlds next year. You can use it, that £700 towards playing at the Worlds next year once we announce the full schedule. So loads of options on what you want to do with it. But yeah, get involved now. I think we're drawing the first one. Got a little bit of time actually. I think it's about 3 weeks time. So a little bit of time to go. But there's stacks on the site at the moment anyway. There's a couple of cool Grosvenor draws if you want to go and play the GUKPT in Blackpool. That's on there. There's also a 25-50 Players' Choice to play any of the 25-50s this autumn, and that list is huge. So pretty much there'll be a 25-50 at a Grosvenor event near you. That is for sure. This golf is compelling, isn't it? It is just compelling. As True Real Deal with the pocket fives beats Real Coily and adds to their stack. 94 bigs they've got.
Good shape, Lee.
Which is huge. In really good shape here at the moment. Obviously, last week we had Natalie and Di were heads up last week.
For ages, Lee.
Yeah, absolutely ages. Card Shark Stevo with the pocket fives up against the ace deuce of Real Coily, and 5 on the flop is going to be good enough. Whether Real Coily will take another rebuy, because I think we can't be far off now hitting the add-on element, as we'd say. They got a few seconds once they bust as to whether they want to go again or not. And I think that might be no. Real Coyley's back in or not? No, but somebody else has just jumped in. Who's just jumped in last minute? Seymour Tilts. There we go. Alan has jumped in last minute. So prize pool's up to £184 now. And as I say, they'll have add-ons for anybody that wants to take them at this point. I mean, it's a good way to do this. Is jump in now. Take a
shot.
Rebuy, take an add-on. All of a sudden you're going to have some decent chips. I've got to remember I've still got a table going on this other screen that I'm probably forgetting about, and I probably just time. Apologies to anyone that's on my table on another site. I probably just timed out at least once or twice whilst busy chatting away and keeping an eye on this Grosvenor game. But all's good. Yeah. So loads of stuff on the raffle site. Anyway, if you want to get involved, I mean, a little cheeky one for you. We've got a party poker draw and an APAT draw tomorrow night. I think they'll get close to pretty much selling out. But in a week's time, we're drawing the WSOP Circuit UK main event seats, the triple draw. I just don't think it's going to sell out, Des. I think it's going to be amazing value.
Yeah, I think there could be some really great value there. And of course, you got extra shots, right? So there's a bunch of packages to be won. Definitely worth taking a swing at that.
Genuinely think it's £1 million guarantee main event prize pool up at Dusk Till Dawn in November, and I think this could be the best value way of getting into it, because I think it's going to I think we are going to struggle to shift the tickets that we need to in the next week. But if you got some tickets already, great. If you haven't and want to get some, it's going to be probably one of the best value ones I think we've ever done, because I don't think we're going to quite get there.
And good to see some value. So
no harm
take
in that.
A shot, guys, and let your friends know.
Yeah, no harm in that whatsoever. So players are on a break because they're just on the add-on break. So once we're through that, then we will crack on again. As that timer counts down, means we can focus on the golf for about another minute.
It's like the red wedding.
It is. It's looking mightily.
The drama is real,
close.
though. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, if America could win the remaining 6 games, which they're up in 4 of them, according to my screen, and take this thing down, I mean, it'd
be astonishing.
Just probably be the greatest ever Ryder Cup story.
Yeah.
I think it certainly was the largest deficit to come back from already. I think pretty much, especially the way they were in the first 2 days, I think it would pretty much be the greatest ever Ryder Cup. Sorry, not so the greatest ever performance, but I think the greatest ever drama and
comeback
story.
Comeback.
The
greatest collapse. It'll be the greatest first 2 days. There's lots of greatest that you can attach to this, but it will be memorable. What made me think, Leigh, because I've watched the Ryder Cup for many years. I've always loved it. But what made me think it kind of started around the time I started to watch golf? Oh boy, did I get that wrong? I was looking at the Ryder Cup app today. I didn't know this, but the Ryder Cup started back in the 1930s.
Yeah, no, it's been about for a long time. Yeah, long time. In one form or another. So should just say that we've had a couple of people did jump in late into this. So double top 40, Steve 40's in there. Real Coyley came back in again, and we mentioned Alan. So they've all now got 6K. So they've all done a rebuy plus an add-on. And Real Coyley's already in with the King Queen up against the Queens of Mohican, and they're going to chop that up.
Oh wow.
Mohican got that one through in the end, and so they chopped that up. But so they've all sat down with effectively like 15 bigs. So it's cost them £15, sit down with 15 bigs, and have got a shot at the 140 seat. So let me just confirm what the prizes are going to be now. So the winner's going to pick up the 140 seat. We're actually paying down to 5th place now. So there's £41 for second, 24 for third, 13 for 4th, and 5th place will pick up £7.44. So so it's a little bit of there is a little bit of cash for at least half of this table now. Ace Jack versus Ace Queen. Real Coyley in a lot of trouble on that flop to Card Shark Stevo, and that's good enough. So we've got one down, and we are down to 7 now. But as I say, it's going to pay top 5. So once you get 5, you get a little bit of
Yeah.
Obviously, with the rebuy format, it can be, some of these players here could have
Put
easily
in
rebought
a touch more.
a few times. We had 21 entries in total, and 18 rebuys and 7, which is pretty much, I think, everyone that was nearly at this final table decided to add on. I'd imagine probably True Real Deal didn't with 80 odd bigs.
Yeah.
Just probably not really much point in doing
Well, like that. It sounds like a bit of an action game on a Sunday night. You get a bit of choice with it. But I also like the fact, even if it's only for 7.44, that, you can cash. It's always nice to get a little cash, even if it doesn't necessarily bring you your investment back fully. It's just nice to tick that box,
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see whether Seymour Tilts or Double Top 40, so whether Alan or Steve can play the spin-up game, whether that works for them.
Well, Steve's got a very limited ability, Leigh. It might be more challenging for him. Sorry, Steve, just getting you back for all of those Liverpool jibes over the last, 3 seasons, 4 seasons?
I was going to say his beloved Villa won today. So
they did. And I'm sure he's going to be in the chat box soon, regaling us both.
He's been super busy at work and life. I actually dropped him a message the other week because I thought, you know what, I've not heard or seen from Steve for a little while.
That's a nice thing for you to do.
I'll just drop him a message.
Yeah, very decent.
And he said, you know what? He said, life's just been getting in the way of all the fun things that he enjoys doing. So, but he say, nice to know that he's well and work was busy and a few other bits and pieces. So, and there he is in the chat. So,
good man. Taking a swing. Good to see.
Yeah. Absolutely, all good. Well, so talking about taking a swing, that's what the Americans are certainly doing over in New York. So I was half expecting on this final day they were going to substitute in Trump, whether he was going to come in and go, look, I got this.
To be honest, they could have substituted in his granddaughter.
Yeah, I'll take them on and see what we can do.
I can't say anything for at least 10 seconds.
Do you reckon we're about 10 seconds? Because I'm just seeing. Here we go. Okay, so it's
Scottish gentleman.
It's McIntyre, yeah?
Yep.
To win the hole. See, I don't know whether your ooh means he did it.
I know. I'm trying to be deliberately obtuse with my oohs.
Oh, straight down the middle.
There you go. Boom.
We'll take straight down the middle. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a little less red wedding now and a little more Irish wedding. Then nobody's quite sure what's going to happen.
The thing is, it's gone from going, we'll kind of comfortably get to 14.5 and win this damn thing. Don't worry about retaining it. We're going to win this at 14. Now everyone's just going, just a half point. We'll take retaining it. At this
what
point.
A shot!
Thanks very much. We will take retaining it at this state of play. Interesting golf course. I'm not a massive follower of golf.
Yeah.
I normally say, we'll pick up some of the majors and certainly the Ryder Cup. But yeah, fascinating golf course. This one is. I don't know whether it's a normal type of thing, but whether it feels unusual to me. I mean, people might say who play golf regularly, oh no, that's just a fairly standard course. But
it's remarkable. I mean, it's got some big bunkers, but I don't remember seeing anybody struggling with bunkers. No
one's struggling with anything. It's like it's all
the scoring has been insane.
Even when you don't get it right down the really nice looking fairway,
they're
all just going,
it's no problem. Good lie there.
Right,
good lie.
Good lie. He's got a good
sitting
lie
up.
Probably a better shot than if it was on the fairway because it's less spin to manage and stuff.
Unless you're Justin Rose and you're going to play a shot from the car park, literally.
Yeah, well, that was the most extraordinary thing to watch, and also the kind of the mechanics of how that went about, and Keegan getting involved and all that. It just the whole thing was just
absolutely beautiful.
It was just extraordinary to watch. So we've still got 7 left, and our 2, short stacks that join late are still there. They are still the short stacks, but they are still hanging on in there with 13 bigs.
I can work with 13 bigs, Leigh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did I can't remember? Did I think he must have? Scheffler won, did he? He must have done.
Yeah, I think so.
He by a hole, right?
Yeah, I think
So he avoided the wooden spoon. He was on the point of becoming the first person ever to lose all 5.
Yeah, which is pretty extraordinary.
Really, as the world number 1. Leigh, I don't know if you've. Oh, sorry, you're playing. You carry on there, my friend.
No, you're fine. We can chat whilst I'm folding cards. So.
Yeah, well, if you need a bit of whatever, just let me know.
What advice?
Hell, definitely not advice. I told you my space is the 13 big blind space.
Ace King versus the Jacks, and Damien's got the Jacks and flops a Jack. So although there was an Ace King for Card Shark Steve, that's not going to be good enough. And he is going to depart, I think, if that was right. Just
we're down to 6.
Waiting for the lobby to catch up with me. I think it was Card Shark Steve. Yeah, it was, who's departed in 7th. So our 2 short stacks are still in there. Still hanging on in for what it's worth.
Mr. 40 has a longer bet with Alan. Is that what he's saying here? I think that's what he's saying.
Wow, nice.
With Mr. Ellis, I guess.
Very nice. Very nice indeed.
Netflix, Leigh, and to anybody else who does watch the TV occasionally, I'm going to assume it's relatively new, but The Residence, it's like a proper whodunit.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, Leigh.
Residence is very good, isn't it?
Have you seen it then?
Yeah.
Oh, you have? Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm only 2 episodes in.
No, it's very good. Yeah.
I just loved the premise of it, and the slight touch of comedy just makes it
it's good.
A little bit extra special.
Just out on Netflix, whilst we're talking Netflix, The House of Guinness.
Yeah, I looked at the trailer, and maybe it was just even a bit too Irish for me. I couldn't.
Wow.
I really couldn't do it. And I love an Irish drama, but yeah, it was probably the sort of thing I'd need to sit through an episode and go, yeah, right, here we go, dig in. Was it good?
Haven't watched it yet. Just seen
you haven't watched any of it.
And looks like looks pretty good. So it's on the list. So we'll give it a whirl. That is for sure.
Gee. Well, I don't know, Leigh. I don't know.
So we're going to come down to these final 3 matches.
I'll tell you what it's like, Leigh. It's like the summer of '69. That's what it's like, Leigh. Somebody
is going to make themselves a bit of a hero, and in those last 3 matches are players that wouldn't necessarily be the big names. Somebody is going to be a hero come the end of this, unless Shane Lowry can do something and pull back in his game. He's got 2 holes to go. So.
Oof.
So we are on the countdown to a few other APAT events, as we are coming up to 5 to the hour. So I think everybody's going to be on a bit of a break. So whilst they're on a break and we're watching, keeping an eye on the golf as well. We should say that starting on Wednesday over in Ash is the APAT German Championship. Cracking schedule over there. Really looking forward to. There is a possibility, and it is a thin possibility that this time next week we might be doing some coverage from the final day of the main event.
How is your German, Leigh?
Yeah, we're going to see how we can make that work. But there is a possibility that if we can make technology work for us, then it would appear that they've got the technology and we've got the technology.
Well, Leigh,
it's just trying to get those two technologies together.
I had a chat with a non-tech guy and with the tech guy last night. And with the non-tech guy, the chat was kind of, it went on for about 15 minutes. And then eventually he said, look, I'm just in the middle of you two. He says, why don't you speak to the tech guy? And I said, well, I'm not a tech guy. I mean, that's not going to help. But so anyway, I said, I'll speak to him. But before I do, does he know absolutely everything that's required? And the non-tech guy, very good guy, said, yeah, he knows everything. So we had a chat for about 20 minutes, the tech guy, and eventually we've come out of it both feeling pretty confident we could do this until I asked the very last question of, right then, where does he want the signal sent to? And the tech guy went, oh, I have no idea about that. It's like, are we sending it to your Twitch? Or are we sending it to our Facebook, your YouTube?
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to come to our. I've got a feeling it's going to come to our YouTube, and that's where it'll be the central place to do it, because they're not going to have a separate channel for it, because they're going to be running their own coverage through their channels, I would imagine, for next week. But there's a possibility, if we can get all of that sorted, that we might well do a little bit of coverage from Ash next week. But they've got a great schedule. Starts on Wednesday. I think it's 12 events, something like that. At the end, there's about 5 day ones into the main event. It's going to get huge numbers next week. Super excited for Sandro and the team over there. They always put on a fantastic event,
and it's a hell of a schedule.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Yeah, it really is. Really good
Fair
schedule.
Play to them. Yeah.
So that's good. So that starts next week. But then before we know what's going on, Leeds will
Yes.
be upon us, and everyone will be playing that. And I think there's some pretty good numbers. A lot of people I know were talking about, I'm going to turn up and play Leeds. Good casino, and say a good city to go and visit. So Leeds will be the next one around the corner for us. And they just pretty much come thick and fast after that with Malta and then London. And concluding with Poker Squads live at the it'll be the first week in December before we know what's going on. There'll be full details of how you can put in for a Poker Squads team coming out very, very shortly. We have also got an online Worlds, which we're just waiting to get that all tied up in the lobby before we confirm the dates on that for you guys. But we've got that to look forward to, which means you can go bracelet hunting online this autumn for a WCOAP 2025 bracelet. And do you know the crazy thing? I'm talking all of this, and do you know what has been the hot topic of conversation in the APAT WhatsApp chat for the last 2 days? Is next year. There's so much work going on with next year's schedule.
Next year looks amazing.
What we're doing, and what and the little tweaks and changes that we're planning on making, just to make it even more player friendly and flexible for players. So loads going on. Really excited about next year as well. But we've obviously got to get to the end of this one first, and obviously, but big year for APAT next year, celebrating 20 years of in the industry. From 2006 to 2026. So looking forward to that. So loads we're going to be doing, but we have confirmed the Irish Open dates. That is already confirmed. Hence the reason why, if you want to play for a package on Poker Raffles, Irish Open's a perfect one. I think the package we can do for you there is a €250 entry into the APAT event at the Irish Open. We've already got booked up some hotel, so you can get hotel for 2 nights for 2 people, including breakfast, and then I think it's about £100 in cash as well towards some expenses for you. So nice little weekend trip over to Dublin, all paid for with a £1 ticket. So well worth it.
And good evening to Mr. Lawler. The Oracle joins. He always joins a little bit late on a Sunday night, Lee. What do you think he's up to?
I think is Love Island on from 9 till 10?
I reckon it's Love Island. It could be Love Island.
Is it Love Island from 9 till 10? Would make sense.
It could well be.
Because he just comes in at 10 o'clock. So they're obviously just a couple of minutes before 10 when the adverts roll in. Yeah, I mean, it's probably. I assume it's the big weekly final. That would make sense.
Do you cast votes in that? Maybe he casts votes.
Yeah, maybe he's texting his votes, and he wants to make sure that the person he wants to get rid of off the island is the one that's gone, and then he's happy. So then he comes on here and goes, right, I can come on the APAT show now and catch up with everybody on there. I've done my bit for society for the week, and
he's trying to cover himself, Lee. He's trying to convince us he's watching the golf. He said he's a bok. There's a few of us that are box.
Yeah, we are all bocking the golf, I think, at this rate.
It's a big putt here, Lee.
We are all bocking the golf. It is pretty incredible. weirdly seem to have moved to on the graphic to how many America need to win it now rather than anything else, which is the most bizarre situation.
Slightly unexpected.
Yeah.
Slightly unexpected that.
Surely that should never have been in the equation. But hey, it is.
Triss is there. So hold on now. Sai said, beat the Chasers on catch-up.
Nice.
Triss says, great achievement, guys. 20 years. Yes, I consider myself an old-time APAT reg. But I have played APAT since 2014, so missed the first third. You're not an old-time reg, mate, if you started in 2014.
Oh, not even close.
You're a legend, though. You're definitely a legend.
Even close. I mean,
not even close.
I can't claim to have played the first ever event or anything like that. I'd have to go and double check when the first event. I played a season 1 event, which would have been the Europeans at Luton, and I'm not sure how many you did before that. You definitely did Broadway before that, and you definitely did
Broadway was first.
I think you did Dublin before that, and I think you did Cardiff before that. So
and Newcastle.
So therefore, I would have been about number 5 then. I think. Before I played, and I stumbled across APAT in an advert in a magazine.
Yeah,
I think I've said that before on the show, which would have been which magazine would it have been?
Poker Player, I'd have thought.
No, I don't think it was Poker Player.
We used to deliver a lot of significant media coverage back then.
Certainly wasn't one which is available. Maybe it was Poker Player. That might maybe it was. That might make
we did a partnership with Dave Woods and Alan Bowden and
but that's where I say that's where I stumbled across it, and I think I might have satellited into that first one.
Nice.
At Luton, but had no plans. I think I've said this to you before. It's obviously the first time I ever met your good self. And I made day 2. So I was living in Southampton time, so drove up to Luton for the day to play this poker event, and made day 2. First time I had Ironside was on my first table, and Jer was on one of my tables that first day. So I remember meeting you at the end of the day, and you saying, you had a good time, great. where are you? And you saying, well, where are you staying? I'm saying, well, staying anywhere. I've not, I'm driving back to Southampton tonight, and I'll drive back up tomorrow. Because I had no. Obviously now everybody books hotels and weekends away and makes a full thing of it. But at that time, I was none the wiser to a 2-day tournament, and I think the only live poker I played before then was in the Caribbean. When I won the trip to the Caribbean, and that was the only other time I'd played any live. You didn't used to play in my local casino or pub poker or anything like that. Not interested in any of that. So that was it. So APAT was my first real kind of involvement and introduction into live poker, which it will have been for so many people.
It's true.
Over the years, so many people will have been that way.
I do remember it as if it was yesterday, us setting it up. And of course, a big part was to be a friendly face to anybody walking into a casino for the first time. We felt we had a responsibility because ultimately we were kind of inviting them into that environment. It wasn't always a friendly environment back then. But we were naive. Well, I was naive in a lot of ways. I certainly asked a lot of people, have you enjoyed your day, and what's your plans now? And I think I might be wrong here, but I think it was Lee Mulligan who kind of woke me up a little bit one time. First discussion I probably had with him, it would have been the Welsh in early 2007. Yeah, because
the one that he would have been.
So I said something very similar. How's your day been? What are you doing now? And he went, oh yeah. He says I'm bedding down in my car at the car park. And I went, oh, shit, that's not the great experience I'd kind of envisaged, but that's what he did. But Lee was kind of quite experienced, so he was very calm and cooler on that. I'm pretty sure it was Lee. It might not have been, but I think.
And of course, that would have made a lot of sense. And of course, you think 20 years on or 18 years on, and Lee Mulligan was winning a raffles drawing off to the.
It's true. It's true. And the number of players, Lee, that are still involved in APAT. which is crazy, you know. And we will put Triss in as a an old star reg there. 2014. I mean, if you think about it, that's 11 years ago.
Yeah. So if you've done 10 or 11 years, you've been
insane.
with APAT for at least half of the run. That's pretty good, because there are plenty of players, to be honest, that have played early seasons, maybe the first 3 or 4, and we haven't really seen much of them since, because as I mentioned with Steve, life gets in the way of these things, and other things crop up, and people have families. And what was really nice in the last few years, we've seen quite a few people come back in and play again a bit more that we'd not seen for sort of 8 or 10 years. And I remember having chats with them and saying, "Oh, I haven't seen you for ages. What have you been up to?" And they're like, "Well, I had kids."
It's true.
I've had to wait till the kids have grown up a bit before I can start going off and doing a poker weekend again. And so lots of other things get in the way, but poker will always be there.
True.
For people to play as and when it suits.
But that is the bit. I mean, we've seen lots of people get together. We've seen births. We've seen deaths. We've seen people come back. It's like a real live organism. APAT has been over the years.
I'm trying to talk all of this just to take my eye off the fact that there's more red appearing on this leaderboard, and this is not good.
That's crazy.
This is not good. This would be extraordinary. So USA on 10.5 points. If they can win the last 4 games out there, they're up in 2.
10.5, Lee. Oh no, I've got it at 13.5. I've got it all level at 13.5.
They win it all. Yeah, they win it all. What an extraordinary outcome this would be. What an extraordinary outcome.
Jesus Christ.
I've just watched a tee shot. This is what I mean about these tee shots on this course. It doesn't really seem to matter. You can be under the ropes, and it doesn't seem to matter.
Well, they had a sign. Close to the exit, I guess, on the first.
They are putting everything in here, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Every time I look, it's a USA player putting a long distance putt in.
But I assume there's some replays going back here.
Oh no, this is all happening now, Des. They're all doing this at the same time. Yeah, no, probably. I'd imagine it's.
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah, it's been captivating for 3 days. It's been absolutely captivating entertainment, and this is what sport should be about. It's been, say, on the edge of your seat. Yeah. Whether you've got, as one of our old business acquaintances would say, skin in the game or not, Des. It's fascinating to watch the whole thing play out. You can't help but just be captivated because it's such a simple format. Oh yeah, this is the beauty of the Ryder Cup, and I guess it's why our team events work. Oh, I was thinking exactly the same. And the MTT is so thrilling. Yeah, which is very similar to the way these singles play out. It's super, but it's such a simple format and way to do it. Right, okay, you versus you, or you pair versus you pair. Right, and you're playing for a point. Away you go. So funny. Carl is just saying, and there's me tuning into a poker show. To be honest, Carl, they've been saying that about us for 5 years, mate. But we are still following the poker. I mean, to be perfectly honest, Alan and Steve have managed to still got about 13 or 15 bigs each. So they're still hanging on in there. We are down to 6. We're effectively on the money bubble at the moment because someone's going to pick up about £7.44 for busting in 5th place. So whoever goes out next is going to miss out completely, unfortunately. But yeah, we are keeping an eye on this. I'm currently 4th of 9 at the moment. Oh, nice! On the final table. Great. And this is for a high roller seat, right? It's for a high roller seat for amazing at Birmingham. Oh, Jesus. Top three get a seat. Oh, nice! I'm now 5 from 8. So, well, if you've got any poker questions that you need answering, Lee, any tips that you want for your final table play? Pretty much got a bang-on average stack at the moment. So, and chip leader's got not quite double average stack. So, there's a lot of play. Well, that's lucky because I've got a half-average game. That's all good, but the average stack is about 28 bigs at the moment. So I've got, not got loads, but enough at the moment not to worry about it.
Simon goes on to say about early days of APAT. He says, didn't play early years. Seems to you recall they sold out before day one a lot.
Oh,
yes, they
yeah.
did. Crikey. I mean, there are some stories. I'm sure we'll, at some point in 2026, do a couple of these APAT shows where we'll just focus on APAT the early years and some of the crazy things that occurred. Steve says...
But it made... I mean, what people don't realise back then when APAT started was, at that time, most of the casinos were ripping players off with really crappy structures and
horrible behavior.
It's horrible. Yeah, it was just horrible. So when along came a really good quality event, which compared to to what was there available, with no reg fee and a sponsor and some added value and a buffet, even if it was the Edinburgh Maybury buffet, it was still a free buffet.
That was a great buffet, Lee.
Yeah, and so players very quickly went, well, yeah, I want to do this. And of course, as with any of these things, APAT can never go and book a huge venue and go, yeah, we'll take anybody that wants to turn up. It doesn't work like that. So there's always going to be a limit on how many people can book, which means, say, back in the early days, the demand was, if you didn't have your seat, you were missing out. And it was absolutely crazy. Obviously, what it's done over the years is everybody else has upped their game now on the quality of the poker that's on offer. So when you hear players moaning now about the structures and the reg fees and this kind of thing, well, yeah, but you've got no idea what it used to be like. I'm pretty sure. I mean, even if you go back to the World Series, didn't the World Series main event used to be like something stupid like a 3K starting stack or something? I don't think it was quite.
Oh yeah, it was 10K. I think it was 10K.
It was something silly.
10K, I think.
Yeah, and yeah, things have moved on so much more now, and the skill involved now in putting a schedule together and to ensure you're maximizing players' value, but also appreciating that dealers have got a deal and they've only so many hours in the day and all this kind of thing. Some of the structures now, I mean, ours in particular, I mean, Tom works so hard on our structures just to make sure he's monitoring all day long. You guys probably don't even see it, but he's constantly monitoring the number of runners and where we were at and where he thought we were going to be at and how it's playing. And then we have meetings and discussions after events going, right, okay, what have we learned from that? Where can we make it slightly better, a bit more value? Does that make no difference if we take that out? And if it doesn't, well, great, because we can then do something somewhere else. So it's a constant thing that evolves year on year, where we're just tweaking, because play changes as well. So the minute you bring in things like the big blind ante and shot clocks and things like that, and play in general changes. Players have changed. You can sometimes have a much more kind of aggro gambly type of crowd in the way that they play. So say there's always different factors that involve, but it's a constant thing that's evolving. And poker, is compared to where it was 20 years ago, is so much more accessible and entertaining and value for money for players than I think it's ever been. And that was a quick announcement from the Poker Tourist Board.
Party political broadcast on behalf of the anti-Ryder Cup party.
Yeah.
Big put coming up early.
Right,
steal yourself for 10 seconds.
Do you think I've just talked enough?
I'm not
I've just talked enough poker, so we're okay. We can go back to the golf for a little bit now. As we're down to 7 on my final table.
Wow.
And I am 4th.
Oh, nice. Three spots.
Yeah.
Just Lee, I do have one thing to share with you here. Sai says, think my debut was the Worlds at TTG when Joe Chilmade was on the Raz.
Get in there.
Could be almost any year.
Get in there.
You've just seen it.
I've just seen it. Get in there.
That's the retention. It's not yet the winning of.
Did I not say to you, Shane Lowry could be the one
lad.
if he can just do something in his game to do that, and thoroughly deserved, because yesterday, the abuse. The abuse. So I'm so glad it was. I had a chat with Paul Haycock earlier on. We were running through Paul's a huge golf fan, so he's probably absolutely celebrated. Probably champagne corks popping at his place at the moment. But I did say to him, going down that singles list, who do you think's gonna sink the winning putt for Europe? And yeah, to be fair, most of his guesses were in the top 5 matches. I don't think he thought it was going to go down to the.
Sorry, Lee. You just mentioned about Paul Haycock drinking champagne going down the singles list. What's all this about? Well, that's just a standard weekend at Haycock Towers, is it not?
It's the life he leads now. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thoroughly superb.
Amazing.
And let's see if these 3 guys now can just get another half a point to win it outright. But we'll take retaining it, I think, on US soil. That's phenomenal. What a great 3 days of golf. Because fair play to the Americans today.
Oh, yeah. Showed a bit of bottle.
Yeah, they did not give up. Absolutely.
And at one point, Lee, there was 6 blue on the board. Didn't look good for them. Looked like it was going to be an absolute carve up.
I think by the time that the final match, the 11th match went out, yeah, you were looking at it and looking at the blue and going, this is all done.
Oh, that's too funny. We've now got Carl following the golf. It's too late, Carl. It's too late. You've tuned in 3 days too late, my friend. But
Carl, if you wanna subscribe to the APAT Golf Show, you can get a monthly subscription. To be honest, we won't do another golf show for 2 years. Des, what do you reckon? Yeah,
about 2 years, Lee. About 2 years. To be honest, it's shit sport outside of this.
I reckon about 2 years, and it might be during the day a little bit more than this silly golf going on till 11 o'clock at night nonsense.
It isn't clear to me. It isn't clear to me whether Shane Lowry, they're showing replays of him jumping up and down on the.
No, I think
in fact, 3 to 4 to 5 minutes later, he's still jumping up and down on the green.
I think he's still doing it. Yeah, absolutely. I think he's still doing it.
Simon says, yippee. And he also said, played a 3K WSOP event, 2004, 3K starting stack. So those side events did have smaller.
Yeah, I was convinced there were WSOP events that were 3K starting stack. I was fairly convinced that somebody had heard stories about that, back. And let's not again, and because before I get anybody jumping at me with it, let's not forget starting stack means nothing.
Yeah,
without knowing the structure and everything. Because it's the first thing I say when someone says, "Oh, it's this starting stack." It's but look at the structure, look at the clock. Look at everything about it, because there are so many variables in a poker tournament as to what's a good poker tournament and what's not. That it's so easy when people just say they just snap off at the it's only a 20K starting stack or it's whatever. Well, it depends on what everything else goes on with it as well. So don't jump on that too much. And so 3K starting stack might have been really good if the structure was
the opening blinds were at 25-25. Bit of play there. You've got a bit of play there.
I mean, I don't know whether somebody wants to mention to Carl, if you think that tonight was a free trial, my friend, Des will be invoicing you after the show.
Yeah.
We've got your details.
We have a van outside your house right now who's trying to pull your satellite dish from your wall. You owe us $14.99, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No nonsense.
Simon says, do you remember the Luton Buffet cold burgers? Well, the Luton Buffet cold burgers, on occasions were better than the Luton Buffet late night fruit buffet.
Yeah.
Which shocked a few of our larger members at the time.
There was some crazy scenes at different APAT events over the years. That's for sure.
Trish says that all the stories I've heard, far too rude for this show. There might have been a few. But we didn't hear about those in the upper echelons of management.
No. You wouldn't. There wasn't even a complaints department for a good 10 years.
Well, there was an email. We just didn't monitor it.
Yeah,
we didn't have complaints, and then Trustpilot came along, and we had to be more efficient.
Yeah.
Simon, generously says the golf talk is better than the football. So Forest didn't have a great day either, did they?
Oh, the football! It's been a weird one for football this weekend.
Yeah.
It feels like nobody had a good week, but obviously teams must have won. So, but it just doesn't feel like it was a good weekend for many. It's certainly condensed in the Premier League a little bit. It's going to be
Oh shit!
It's going to make it interesting.
Wow.
That is for sure.
I said it to Sean a little earlier before the Arsenal result came through. It was Liverpool first, Palace were second. Then it was a mix of like Sunderland. I think were fourth, Tottenham were third, and in fifth place I want to say was Bournemouth.
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
top
Crazy
five.
situation. Yeah. Absolutely
Wow.
crazy.
And Arsenal have messed the weekend up by getting the victory done.
Yeah, but that's a good sign. You guys have been doing it for the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So to be perfectly honest, it's a good sign.
I have to say, I did watch the Palace Liverpool game yesterday. I thought Palace were good value for their win. You know, they played as an optimum Palace team. They were very sound in defence and they were very dangerous going
Oh,
forward.
that is disgusting.
Which one have you just seen?
No, I've just bust the
Oh no, you're shitting me.
In fifth. That's disgusting.
What was the hand?
I've had Queen Jack of hearts with a Jack flop, and a second heart came down on the turn.
Yeah,
And it all went in. And that turned straight.
and he's hit 5-1.
Yeah, on the turn had given him the straight, and we both had hearts in our hands.
Yeah.
So we're both on a flush draw, but I've got a better flush draw as well, and I miss on the river. But he turned the straight. So basically, it's given me everything I need on the turn to go. Well, I'm probably in a good spot here, and he's already flopped. He's already turned.
Good effort, my friend.
Finish in fifth. Oh well, that's one of those things.
Made a little bit of money, I hope.
No. That's two day twos. Will have cost me a bit to even get into them. They're not easy ones to when you're playing for. So both of those are like £1,000 prizes. Yeah. So main event is 500 plus a 500 in cash, and the high roller is 1,000 buy-in, and it's 25 quid day ones just to get through to them. They're brutal to play. To be honest, they're not.
What was the structure like in that satellite you've just played?
That's not. If you think that I bust 2 off the money there, and it started at 9:05, the day 2.
Day so must be
it's
super
played
fast.
It's played for an hour and 20 minutes. It's
Jeez,
ridiculous. Really, but that seems to be the way. Satellites are. I mean, we don't do masses with satellites online these days. But we've talked about this with the WSOP ones we used to follow previous summers, and satellites there doesn't seem to be huge amounts of value in these anymore. It's a weird one. Don't know why, but obviously people are finding other ways to fund playing their poker, or they're buying poker raffle tickets. One or the other.
Well,
good. Shane Lowry's still jumping around on the green, from what I can see. Yeah.
And they said he looked, bereft of energy a little while ago, but he was clearly saving himself for the big moment. Yet another Irishman to single-handedly deliver the Ryder Cup.
That's what it's all about.
It's the people from countries like Hungary and Romania that don't appreciate what we're doing for them here.
No, definitely not. Definitely. So we're still 6 left in this satellite, and to say it's only top 5 are getting paid a little bit of money. I would agree with. Simon just posted in the chat. Counterpoint. Short satellites are better. No, I don't disagree. To be honest. So there's a few things. If we want to talk about satellites, that absolutely wind me up at the moment, having played a few to try and get through to some bits and pieces this autumn. And one is, I feel they've become very aggro and just gambly because of the structures of a lot of them now. But secondly, so much tanking because everybody's read Dara's book, where it's a case of now you drag out your time banks to basically drag the thing out because that's the optimum way to play it. There's no enjoyment in them, which is why I would agree with Simon in play the shorts to satellites, and I don't disagree with them. Actually, the party ones I think at the moment are a really nice structure. I also think the Grosvenor ones are pretty good as well. The way that they're getting the guys into things like they've all just been in Killarney this weekend, and obviously you can get over to Malta as well via the Grosvenor ones. They're all pretty cool as well. But the amount of tanking now, of using up your full time for every decision. So it's not even just, I've got a decision to make. It's every single action. It's waiting for your time bank to drop before you click your button. And I've seen that, and you only need 2 or 3 players at the table to be doing it, and you kind of switch off. You just zone out, because it's and let's not forget, poker's supposed to be entertainment.
Fun.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a fun thing to be doing. And there's an argument you go, I'd rather flick into a 10-handed flip and go, and than sit there watching mind-numbingly, especially if you play for you've been playing for hours. I mean, that the first one of those day 2s tonight started at 8 o'clock. So when did I bust that one? About half an hour ago, didn't I? So about 10 o'clock I bust that one. So again, we're down to, what was it, 17 top 10 are getting a seat, and you run kings into aces. Okay, so you played for a couple of hours. That's happened. You've had to play a couple of evenings during the week to get the stack through. I don't mind those as structures. They're okay. But yeah, there is so much just time wasting. As Simon says, if you want entertainment, don't play satellites.
Don't play satellites.
Yeah. But then the point being, Simon, how can decent poker events be affordable for people if you don't give them a satellite route, or hence maybe that's why we've done okay with poker raffles in the last couple of years in getting people into different events, because I don't know why it's so difficult for the buy-ins for some of these things. I can't afford to be sitting playing satellite playing tournaments most months, let alone weeks. And I know there are plenty of people that that'll sit and play, or maybe they're grinding cash. I don't know what they're doing, but whatever it is. But I certainly couldn't afford to be. I mean, you look at the Grosvenor schedule with the 2550s and all the GUKPTs and all the side events that go with it. And do you remember we talked about it not that long ago? Matt Davenport's post.
Yeah.
Won the NPL last year. Won an added value package worth, was it 80 grand or something like that, and said he's lost money in the last 18 months. I think you've got to put on good quality satellites, and that should be fun and make it affordable for people to then get along to play stuff. I agree. I don't think anybody's got hours and hours and hours to want to play of an evening, which is why I think the Grosvenor ones work pretty well. This one tonight, I mean, we put a little bit more in our satellites to give players a bit more value. Probably if this was a normal Grosvenor, they do a very similar structure to what we've got here, but they'll do a 5-minute clock, whereas ours is an 8-minute clock. So we give players a bit more play, but maybe we shouldn't. And actually playing for this started at 8 o'clock, so they've been playing for 2.5 hours, and we're probably going to be about 3 hours before we've got a winner for a 140 seat. I don't know, but I guess it's not just about the value. It's about sitting and playing a bit of kind of cheap poker and enjoying it, really.
Carl talks about there who remembers freeze out satellites.
Yeah.
Where skill could actually
this is what I mean. This is what I mean, Carl, is I genuinely had I used to keep the numbers of what I did. The year I had a really good win a while, a decade or so ago. I played a lot of poker that year, and I think everything that I bought into, I'd worked out the numbers. I got in for 25% of all of those buy-ins, and I played a 3K WPT at Dusk Till Dawn. I played obviously the UKPC. I got to the Wembley event. So in that kind of 12, 18 month period, all my numbers, and it had cost me 25% of my by so properly crushing the satellites. Now it's really tough. You can get a little bit lucky and have a couple of good successes. 2 years ago, I won 2 packages to the Irish Open, which was great. One on Stars and one on Grosvenor, which was amazing. This Easter just gone, I didn't keep track of how much I spent trying to get a package, trying to win a main event seat for the Irish Open. Couldn't get one. Went out there and won one through the Milestone live satellites. And speaking of live Milestone satellites, we are going to add some of those into our London schedule. So if you are local in the London area, and during the day, I think they're going to run them in the afternoons, and want to play, say, some Milestone satellites to win entries, 140 entries into the APAT event at the UK COAP. You'll be able to do that. So that's just another new thing that we've added in, because very much, say, London's that card room is just it doesn't ever close, does it? There's always seems to be tables on the go in Stratford. It's incredible.
Great spot indeed.
Yeah.
So Sai says, Max late reg satellites closest to a freeze out type experience, involves thinking and strategy.
But the trouble is you're probably late regging them with maybe 10 bigs.
You're a bit light.
Maybe 15 or 20 bigs. So you haven't really got much wiggle room. But I agree. Then you could arguably play it out. And I used to do that quite a lot. Say max late reg, go for an early double up, and once you get an early double up, you're very much in the game.
Wowzers.
Oh, goodness me.
It's like,
goodness me, that putt was close.
There's 2 in it, Lee. There's 2 in it.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah, it was close to the 17th is what it was close to. Is it still rolling? Has it hit Shane Lowry on the leg?
But he had to go. But he
had to go for it. Yeah, of course he had.
Because he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So you might as well. What you don't want to do there is leave it short.
Oh no, be tentative.
And go. Oh look, it was on target and I've left it short. So yeah, you're obviously gonna play it out. But let's see whether Hatton can do this. Just needs to not lose the hole.
Yeah,
That's all he needs to do. Who'd have thought this would have ended up
amazing.
14 and a half, 13 and a half, or maybe even 14 all. Goodness me.
And the pure irony here is that unless Hatton, basically gets this hole done, Burns is potentially going to go up the last. He's got to play the short 17th, but in the lead to tie the thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just
crazy.
We're still 6-handed. How are we still 6-handed in this? Because such a good structure, so much fun to play. The short stacks have got about 9 bigs, which is Douglas Dew and Seymour Tilts, but nobody's really got a massive stack here. Double top 40, Steve 40, ace-9 versus the ace-10. In trouble here for Brian.
Oh, 9. Is that a 9? No, that's not a 9.
It's definitely not a 9. It's a queen, Des.
It went quite faded on my screen.
Yeah, so we are in the money finally now. So True Real Deal's got 24 bigs. So's Damien. Double top 40, Steve has got 22 bigs. And then the 2 shorter stacks, Mohican with 14 and Seymour Tilts with 9. Still playing for this 140 seat. And it's anyone's to play for, to be honest, because even if Alan can get a double up from 8.5 bigs, all of a sudden he's kind of he's back in the pack.
It's like Steve there coming in with his $15, right at the death. He's pretty much in the run. Seek for
if he can. I mean, if he finishes 4th, he's going to win 12.88, so he's nearly break even.
Yeah,
anything 3rd and up, and he's in profit for the event, and obviously with the chance of a 140 seat up top. So all good. That's for sure.
Talking of
Paul's just WhatsApp me to say and breathe. So yeah, because that was far more painful than you could you could imagine. I think for proper golf fans, because I don't claim to be a proper golf fan. I just say I literally chip in when there's something good on the telly. Other than that, I'm not really knowledgeable on the game. I've never swung a golf club on a course in my life. Played a little bit of mini golf, and that's about my level. So
Well, I used to play as a teenager back in Westport, and I remember starting by I was caddying like for the lady captain when I was like 9, 10, 11. There were no trolleys or anything like that back in the day. You literally carry a bag, but it was a fairly light bag. In fairness, you'd get a Mars bar and a Coke on like the 10th or 11th out the back 9, which was great. You get a fiver at the end of the whole thing. But then I started playing, enjoyed it, had absolutely no talent, nothing. But I can say Westport, our course, was the course that Rory McIlroy won his first kind of big amateur event as a 16-year-old or 15-year-old or something like that. So I
do remember growing up, my secondary school, I think the games teacher there must have had some sort of connection or whatever with St Pierre golf course, which is sort of just near Chepstow in South Wales, and they used to always have the PGA Tour there once every year.
Oh wow!
And, we've lost the how have we lost that? Oh, because it says I'm inactive apparently.
What have you lost?
Bear with me,
okay.
folks. I've lost the table. I will bring it back up now. Bear with me a second. Yeah, so St Pierre used to host the PGA tour every year, and they would get some of the kids from my school would go up there and effectively collecting golf balls.
Did a bit of that.
So so now it doesn't like my login. Bear with me a second, folks. We should be back in the room any second.
I think I do have good memories of collecting bags of balls and selling them to the lady players who'd put the balls kind of into the into the rough the day before. It's like it was just a circular transactional economy. It set me up for doing deals for APAT for many years.
Right, you probably lost the. Let me see if I can bring that back up. There we go. How about that?
Good man. There we go. I can actually even see it now.
There we go. Perfect. Back in the room. Let me just make sure the lobby is linked back up again, because we might have lost that as well. There we go. So 4 left. So we did lose some of there. We lost Alan. Seymour Tilts in 5th, picks up £7.44. Bear in mind he did that thing of the 3 bonuses. It's cost him 15 quid. So yeah, he's got half his money back. 10s versus 7s. Double top hits a 7 on the flop.
Oh.
And it's gonna be the end of Mohican. Goodness me. Steve,
dear,
40.
oh dear.
Up to 30 bigs now. Damien's got 19 bigs. Is Steve 40 going to do what we were talking about?
Yeah.
Last minute reg, rebuy, add-on, cost him £15. He's now locked up £41. Is he going to take the £140 seat as well and give us a masterclass in satellite play on this Sunday night? You wouldn't bet against him now,
No,
Des,
definitely
would
wouldn't
you?
bet against him.
You
I'd never
wouldn't
bet against him.
No, definitely not. I'm back watching the golf again. Yeah.
Carl says, "Look, boxed."
yeah. Unfortunately, Carl, absolutely, yeah.
'Tis the way I play too. Mind you, 7s look good, so they do on a this stage of the tourney. They look quite sweet.
You're 3-handed, and to be honest, you're thinking, okay, I might be flipping here, but you take that. Yeah, you rarely you're going to be up against an overpair 3-handed. So.
I reckon it's the guy with the injured Nick who's won it for us, Lee.
So is this McIntyre to win? Oh, right, this is on the 17th. I'm
just
catching up on the golf. So this is to win the hole on the 17th.
Yeah.
Oh, he's only just missed that.
Yeah.
Missed me. Right, okay. So I'm waiting to catch up on where they are on the 18th. What's this thing they all do, or not all of them, but some of them do now, with when they're going to take a putt and they're stood over it with their legs.
Standing on either side, kind of divining
the
lie of the land.
Where's the balance of the, very strange. So what is it? So Morikawa's on a birdie putt I'm watching, which you might have just seen.
Yeah.
Long distance out though, so I'm
To be honest, there's only 2 matches left, and it's still
he,
flicking over left, right,
if
left,
he,
right.
If he puts this in, I'll be very impressed. I don't know where Hatton's obviously a lot closer than that, so it's going to end up tying this hole. I think I'm going to guess. Although Hatton can sink this to win it, can't he? To win the match, to win his match, possibly. But we've jumped back to the crikey. They're all over the place, aren't they? I see what you mean.
I'm watching Hatton putting now, so maybe you've moved ahead.
I
of me
thought
now.
we were heads. I thought we were heads up. How is True Real Deal all of a sudden sat in on this table?
Did he buy in lately? Is it still open?
Did I not think that must? Maybe there was another player there, and I wasn't. And I thought they were heads up. I was convinced they were heads up. Am I missing something?
Yeah. You must be, Leigh. You must be missing something. He hasn't just appeared. He has not just appeared.
I genuinely looked up, and when Steve bust Mohican, I would have been convinced that was that. And so ignore my heads up. I've just did a whole thing going their heads up, and they're not even close. There's 3 players at the bloody table. This golf is just has completely
It's distractingly distracting.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Morikawa
trying to see whether that is Hatton. Is that Hatton tied that or not? I don't know. I can't work out whether that's. Or does he need to sink this to tie the hole or to win it? Yeah, to tie the match. Okay. So he needs to sink this to tie the match, otherwise Hatton wins the match and watch. Because you're now ahead of me, so you're you're probably already getting. I'm just seeing that now as it goes, so it's probably already happened on your screen. Yeah, so Carl said I bust in 4, so ignore me. Goodness me, honestly, too many things going on too many different screens. And there we go. So not only of Europe retained, they have now won outright, albeit that was as squeaky a finish as you're ever likely to see.
Very squeaky.
Really, really was.
But Leigh, in fairness,
Paul's just messaged me going, he said, I'm exhausted despite having sat on my arse for most of the weekend.
Exactly. And in the way a GPS works, Leigh, you know, in your car when you're driving 249 miles, the prediction has worked out probably uncannily accurate. It'll end up being 14.5 to 13.5, albeit the prediction only came in about 7 minutes ago.
Yeah, just
that particular one.
Just ridiculous, to say the least. So, yeah, Simon's saying Leigh hallucinate. I really must have been, because how I've not spotted that True Real Deal was at the bottom of that table. I swear I looked up and just went, there's just 2 of them there. Absolutely bizarre. Luckily, nobody listens to this stuff back anyway, so we're okay. It's not a problem. So it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll clip this, Leigh. See if we can get it viral.
Yeah, why not? What's that guy talking about? He hasn't got a clue what he's talking about. The stands are a little bit disappointingly empty on the 18th, which is a bit of a shame there at the golf. The Americans you'd have thought would, at least stay and watch the whole presentation and everything. But the stands look.
They want to beat the traffic out, Leigh.
Yeah. Kings versus 4s then. King
there
on the flop. That's going to be double top done. We are definitely heads up this time. And double top is going to have, Steve's going to have 45 bigs, 25 bigs for True Real Deal. So we are properly heads up this time.
Well, for the second time in the match, we are heads up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And for anybody watching in black and white, I've switched on the 4-color deck to assist. So
could you switch on the 4-color seats?
Yeah. Simon's saying Americans very sporting all weekend. Yes.
They were, bless them. Yeah.
I genuinely hope not that you draw a line on it, because it won't ever, because I mean, to be honest, this sort of fan reaction and kind of behavior at the Ryder Cup has been building for a number of Ryder Cups. It's just gradually got a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more year on year. I hope that when it's back in Europe in 2 years' time, there's nobody that looks at what's gone on this weekend and goes, right, okay, they're owed a bit now. I would hope that we can just go, all right, let's just get it back to supporting your team and when they're playing well and having a little bit of banter with you. That's what it's all about. When it gets personal, it feels unnecessary. And I would hope that there'll be a line drawn and just go, actually, let's just rein it back in a little bit to where it needs to be. Somebody said the other, might have been this morning, or that's on the commentary that that it's hard to get motivated and up when there's so much negativity coming from the crowd, even if it's negativity aimed at your opponents. It's much better to be you putting your energy into being positive about your play rather than beating down your opponent. You're not actually helping them, because it just makes the whole vibe really difficult to actually get your game up and actually play at your best.
There's a couple of levels at play here as well, of course, because there's been negativity. There's negativity and support the home team and all of that stuff. But then there's also like, moving and making shouts when players are about to actually play the shot. That's into a whole different sphere of, you can't impact a footballer on a football pitch by shouting. It's not going to impact to a degree how he kicks the ball, but it can very much do in golf.
Yeah, and to be fair, there wasn't much niggle between the players. There was the incident yesterday on the 15th, but actually the media blew that all up out of all proportion, because when you actually watched it back, it was something of nothing, and they kind of sorted it out, and that was that. So that was the only thing I think where there's been any kind of niggle between the players, and it wasn't really much of anything you could argue, who was at fault or whatever. It doesn't actually really matter, to be honest, because it was dealt with. It's more the fans that but the Europeans have been on the course and pretty boisterous for the weekend as well. It's not a case of they've sat there in silence and not got involved.
I think the
why
US
shouldn't they?
I think the US captain jumping into a mini rage when Justin Rose was playing from an impossible place was kind of a bit weird. It wasn't a good look.
No, but I don't think they got to the bottom of why.
Yeah, but there's almost no reason would be good enough for that.
But he was quite right to, if he had a concern about the shot should have been played and not a drop, that's fine. But why he was going on afterwards, somebody suggested it might have been about the pace of the play, because they were holding up the games behind. And obviously if the games behind have got a bit of momentum, and obviously one of the players in the games behind would have been Bryson the Bison. So if he's got a bit of momentum and is playing quickly, and now there's games holding up, so I wonder whether it was something to do with that, which again, as a captain, you're quite entitled to make the point. But ultimately, if it's within the rules, who are you whinging to?
He shouldn't have turned into prime Jose Mourinho.
Oh, well, no, he was still like wandering down the fairway, still ranting about it. It's like, you move on. So, speaking of ranting about it, your boy got another yellow card yesterday. What did Slot get a yellow card for?
Did he? Slot?
Yeah. What did he
probably something innocuous. I would have thought nothing of any.
He's got a bit whingy in
I don't think
this
so.
season.
He's
always straight to the screen, to the iPad.
Yeah, they're all like that.
When something goes against him,
they're all like that, aren't they?
They're not all like it, but you're seeing more of it, aren't you? Of the straight to the iPad to get the evidence.
I suppose maybe
it's a good thing to be like that.
I suppose what we see, 2-3 occasions every match, there's borderline decisions, and it might be, was that a handball or not a handball? Well, it might have touched his hand, but was it is it a handball? Or it might not have touched his hand, in fact, but it looked like it might have. So, they all get very emotional over those, because those kind of tiny, tiny moments can have very significant impacts.
Weird decisions. I mean, I don't know whether you watched the United game.
I didn't see the United game.
But we got a penalty.
Kelleher saved one, right?
Kelleher saved it, but Bruno was made to wait for 4 minutes to take the penalty.
What bit of VAR? They were VARing.
They were running VAR as to whether the player should have got sent off. So the ball's come in from the right, and Wemo is through and has got pulled back by the defender. He's not in control of the ball, but the cross is coming in, and he's pretty much going to not tap it into an empty goal because he's got to beat the keeper. But it's such a goal scoring opportunity, ridiculous. The ref gives a yellow, so gives a penalty, thinks about it, gives a penalty, and then books the defender. And of course, then VAR get involved, saying we're checking to see whether it should be a red. So they obviously feel, there's a strong possibility here that he's stopped a goal scoring opportunity, which should be a red, on the basis that if he hasn't gone for the ball and made an attempt to go for the ball, which he didn't, he pulled the player back. Then if you make an attempt for the ball, it's the kind of the double jeopardy thing where it can be a yellow card. You can't have the penalty and a red card because he's gone for the ball. Ace King versus King Queen. King Queen at risk. This could be all over, and it's gonna be all over. Wow. And Steve's gonna be our winner. So anyway, so it went to VAR. Well done to you, Steve. And VAR eventually decided that no, the on-field decision is right because the player wasn't in control of the ball. Well, no
the
shit.
Striker in Bueno.
Yeah, well, no shit, he wasn't, because he was about to latch on to a cross for a shot on goal. What?
But this is the issue with football. It's so subjective.
And you were like, well, that's just nuts. How can that be the case? So because he wasn't in control of the ball, it wasn't a red card. So what that effectively means now, right, is a defender can pull back an attacker before they're going to shoot. Right? If they're clean through and you're the wrong side of them, you can pull them back now.
Oh, it's mad.
Because
it's so subjective, some of these things.
All you're going to get given is a penalty against you and a yellow card. You can't get sent off for it. Yeah. So if you've now got a player running through who's not in control of the ball, but he's about to latch on to tap one in, do you know what I mean? So he's about to tap one in 6 yards out, give him a pull. Because you can't get sent off for it. So you'll get the penalty, but to be honest, the keeper's got a chance to save it now. Whereas, but yeah, it's the most.
Wow.
And how is VAR looking at these things and going, yeah, we've had another look at this, and it's just mind-boggling to be honest. But wow, it's the way it is. Congratulations to you, Steve. Anyway, very well done to you indeed. You picked up the £140 seat whilst I was busy ranting about. By the way, it wasn't a criticism of the result, by the way, yesterday, because we didn't deserve a thing out of yesterday at all whatsoever. True Real Deal finished the second, picking up £41. Well done also to Damien D, Mohican, and Seymour Till to all pick up cash. We will do this all again next week with the satellite, but we may also be live streaming from Ash as well. We will see what happens. But loads going on this week. Couple of big poker raffles draws tomorrow night if you want to get involved. See if you have a better luck of getting to the Party Poker Birmingham event than I just did. See if you can do it via poker raffles. Might be a better option for you. But we've also got another APAT draw as well. And then obviously a big draw in a week's time for the WSOP circuit, triple draw. Get involved if you can in that, because I think it's going to be super value in it, because I don't think we're going to sell all the tickets. So go and play for £1 million.
Yes.
In November. Well worth it.
Because as Steve has just demonstrated, every dog can have his day, right? I'm just still waiting for my day, Lee. That's all.
So Steve played the last minute reg.
He played top bombing, sir. Top bombing.
Very well done, Steve. Super effort. Well done to you.
Okay, folks. Well, I guess we've reached that time of the evening. It is time to start thinking about bed and a whole new week. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for playing tonight. We look forward to.
It was comfortable in the end. It was 15-13.
Yeah, it was huge, mate. 15-13. It was just
massive.
I don't know what all the panic was about.
What was the issue? I don't know what everyone was having.
The only thing I will say is nobody predicted 15-13.
Goodness me.
So yeah, if you're around tomorrow evening, do join Lee and I for the poker raffles draw on Facebook. Other than that, have a great week, and we would hope to see you next weekend. As Lee said, we might be talking in German. I think that's probably unlikely, but if we are coming from the German APAT, then we'll tell you on Facebook. And if you want to join us for a laugh, please do. And if not, we'll see you when we next see you. So have a great